Hello everyone, it's your lovely Abbie Dagrin and welcome back to my channel, lovelies. Today I'll be continuing a series that deals with natal chart analysis, and today I'll be doing one on Halle Berry. I'll be speaking on her personality traits, her characteristic traits based off of her natal chart and how a lot of her natal chart placements have led to a lot of her success. So please make sure you stay tuned for the rest of my video, lovelies. If you have not yet become a part of the Abbie Dagrin family, then this is your calling to do so. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know when I upload videos on the daily. Please also make sure you hit that like button because I know you guys will love this video. And last but not least, please make sure you share this video with everyone you know, whether it's your friends, your family members, your enemies, anyone in general who would just love this content or who really loves Halle Berry. Now let's get right into the video, lovelies. Halle Berry was born on August 14th, 1966, so this qualifies her to be a Leo, and with this placement she tends to be someone who really loves the spotlight. She's very much fun, she loves to do things that are different, she needs a fun experience in her life to feel uplifted. She's very creative and very passionate. She's someone who tends to be very confident in herself. And she's someone who's very self-assured, and she just loves to be herself and loves to do things for herself. And she's someone who is very warm, and that's something that has really come up with her. She's a very warm person, a very nice person, but she's very much bold and she's gonna say how she feels. She's very intense and loves being the center of attention, and this helps her with her career in acting because that's something that comes with being an actor, is being the center of attention. Next up is her moon in Leo, and with this placement she tends to be someone who's going to show her emotions. She's going to speak on how she feels on different things. She tends to love to entertain her family and friends, and she's very wild in a good way, very funny, and very charming. She loves to be the type of person who is very much funny. She is funny. If you look at her Twitter, she's a funny person. She's very optimistic, she's very positive, and this is something that goes with her because she's been through a lot in life, and she's always looked at optimism or always looked at her mother as a way for her to just keep going through life. She's very creative, she's very generous, she's very much high energy, and this comes from a fire sign being a Leo and a moon. She's a very proud person, and she's someone who can be dramatic but in a fun way, and it matches because she's an actress. Next up is her Mercury in Leo, so it's very great for her to have her Mercury and Sun sign in the same placement, so she's able to speak how she feels in a more confident way, and she's able to be understood. She tends to have a very much authoritarian way in speaking, and it's in a way that brings a lot of attention to her. So she just has a lot of confidence in how she speaks, so people just believe her and people are able to get inspiration from her. She has a very confident voice, she has a motivational speaking voice, and this really works for her because she's very motivational as to what she wants. She has a very commanding expression, and she is a proud thinker. She does have a very creative perception when she speaks or how she thinks. She is someone who's very expressive in how she talks and how she thinks, and she's very much great at speaking, and that's something that she's gifted at. Next up is her Venus in Cancer, and with this placement she tends to be someone who is very much in love, and she loves to give love to others, especially to people in relationships. She tends to be much of a caretaker in a relationship, so she's just always going to be caring for her partner, and that's something that happens with a Cancer placement in Venus. They tend to just be very caring, and they want someone caring in their life because that's what they're going to give. They're very much comfortable to be around. They're very protective, very empathetic, very parental in relationships. They are quite sensitive when it comes to dealing with love and relationships. She wants to be in a committed and a predictable relationship. She can be sensitive and crave security, comfort, and love. It shows love by taking care of her partner's needs, and she's very creative and big-hearted and intuitive, and she can read her partner's needs. Next up is her Mars in Cancer. And with this placement, she tends to really be someone who is going to work at her goals. Since she's a cardinal sign, she's going to be very ambitious and she's going to go after what she wants wholeheartedly. She's someone who's very creative. That comes with being a water side. Creativity is something that comes with them. And they're also the type of people who are persistent and will try to mold the situation to suit their emotional needs. So to make sure that their emotional needs are being met, they're going to make sure that their needs are being met in regards to her career. She's someone who may be sensitive, but she has a very rich imagination, and she's very empathetic to other people. She's very much a person who's very cautious in what she does, and she loves to just do things that really benefit her in a way that she's able to live her life very comfortably. Next up is her Jupiter in Cancer. So this is her second stellium. She had a stellium in Leo, and now she has a stellium in Cancer. So she's able to give those two energies in her chart. So she's going to give very much Leo energy and give a lot of Cancer energy. So by having the Jupiter in Cancer, she's very instinctive and she attracts luck and good fortune. This is actually a very great place to have Jupiter in. It's Jupiter in Cancer and some two other placements. She's someone who's very devoted and very receptive. So that's what gives her a lot of the luck that she has. She can be easily influenced. That is a downside, but even though with that, she'll be able to gain a lot of luck in her life, and she'll be able to have a lot of positivity or a lot of positive things happen to her without her even looking in that direction. Next up is her Saturn in Pisces. And with this, she tends to be someone who will look down on her issues as not very important in the grand scheme of things. It's very common for her to have the obstacle of having to make personal sacrifices, but she is someone who's very intuitive and creative and has a lot of many talents. She has a tendency to think that her life is out of control, and it's based on sometimes unreasonable fear, probably connected with unfortunate experience with the person who filled the father role in her early life. And this is something that makes sense with Halle because she did not have the best relationship with her father. Her father was not the best to her or her mother, so this is what has brought her to have this fear. But she has to learn to be in control of her life, and things will become easier for her to bear. Up next is her Uranus in Virgo, and because of this, she has very great intuition, and she's able to assess a situation and move ahead in the right direction. She's also able to be known for the degree of intensity with which she dislikes normal everyday routines, and she's someone who will go out of her way to invent innovative, unique, and time-saving ways to perform the various mundane routines and duties of living. She will be attracted to all manner of practical and useful things, anything that will make her daily life a lot more exciting. And it makes sense because with this placement, having intuition is important. Virgo placements do have a lot of intuition, and she's able to benefit from that intuition with her Uranus in Virgo, and I know she uses it very well. Next up is her Neptune in Scorpio, and with this placement, this is actually one of the rarest signs that find pleasure and inspiration from the darkest of places, which is very much interesting. She's not afraid of her darker side, and she's attracted to anything that is very mystical, and she's able to be very open with herself and being open with learning things that probably other people may seem as very not cool or very much not a topic we should talk about, but she's interested in anything deep and mysterious. She's able to explore and idealize the beliefs that can come from the study of anything like psychology. And she's someone who will experiment in doing things that other people may not do, but she's able to navigate her life with that, and she's able to just be open, and that's something that we give her credit for. Up next is her Pluto in Virgo, and she's been able to get this placement because she was born in a generation that deals with being a community like-minded type of person. She's a part of the generation of Generation X, so she was born between 1957 and 1972. They're very much about just helping others and offering the practical care necessary to improve anyone's status. They're going to make sure that they help anyone that they feel as though needs help, and they're going to try their best to put everyone first. And that's something that it can be beneficial. They will work in a time that's very profound and changes society's attitude towards work. Duty and responsibility will be initiated. They love to talk about health, and she's someone who really loves talking about her health and nutrition, and that's something that is rarely practiced with their generation. Next up is her North Node in Taurus, and in order for her to accomplish what she needs to have in life and to be able to have the gifts that she needs in life, she needs to be able to gain these characteristics. So one would be loyalty, being loyal to others, awareness of boundaries, taking things one step at a time, a sense of self-worth, awareness of personal values, having patience, honoring expressed needs of self and others, enjoying the 5 physical senses, having a lot of gratitude, awareness of nurturing from Mother Nature, being forgiving, being persistent, being able to find a way to be financially independent without alienating others, learning the way of the builder, connecting to the earth, incorporating Taurus traits in her life, and surrounding herself with people who will support her and appreciate her journey. Next up is her Chiron in Pisces. And with this placement, this really does describe Halle Berry's life. If you have looked at her life, you would know that she's been through a lot, especially from a young age. She did not have the best relationship with her father. Her father was not the nicest or the kindest towards her or her mom. So she may have the wound of having a sense of faith in herself and in humanity. She may have been through something when she was young, and that comes with the Chiron placement, and she was able to not look at the world in a way that is fair. She just thinks the world is very unfair, and they just have a lot of negativity to it. In order to heal, she will need to realize that the hate in society is due to restrictions and fear set up by humanity, which does not really matter in the grand scheme of things. So in order for her to heal, she will need to know that she's precious and not everyone is bad, but she will need to develop a lot of boundaries. Next up is her Ascendant/Rising in Taurus. And with this placement, she tends to be someone who really likes to help people. She's very loving and very much Taurus-y. When you look at her, you would probably see that she may have a lot of Taurus placement. She is very careful and cautious. She does have a very pleasant voice. If you hear her speak, it's just very beautiful. She's very much charismatic, and she's very artistic. She's very comforting, and she has a comforting presence. She has an appearance that's very beautiful, and she may be self-indulgent. She is someone who's very loyal to the core, and she has your back regardless of what happens. But she's very practical, very nurturing, very steady. She's very dependable, and it's something that really helps with a Taurus rising. And last but not least is her midheaven in Capricorn. And this is actually a great placement to have because the midheaven is ruled by Capricorn, the 10th house. So this just shows that she's very much a very hard worker. And she's someone who is going to make sure that she accomplishes all her goals. She is going to be very practical in herself, and she will hold a feeling in order to remain objective. She's someone who has a strong sense of duty and dedication, and she knows how to make most of her resources and times. She's very structured in her careers that gives her stability, wealth, and success that is very ideal for her. She is someone who's not afraid of competition, and she will work hard to get at the top. And having either a Capricorn, Leo, or an Aries placement in midheaven, those are like the top most successful midheaven. So with her having this placement, it explains a lot of her success in regards to her career. That's all I have for you lovelies today in regards to Halle Berry's natal chart. Please let me know down below, did you get a better understanding as to who she is as a person, and how have you been able to learn more from her? Please also let me know down below who else you guys would want me to do a natal chart analysis on. And please make sure you hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, also that like button, and also that share button. And last but not least, please make sure you are following me on all of my social media accounts, from Pinterest down to TikTok. Also, please make sure you're supporting my PayPal and my Etsy store and my podcast, which everything will be linked down below. I love you all. Please stay safe and healthy. Know that you're precious and you're lovely, and please put yourself first. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, lovelies.